you know, the kind of keys to victory in a Counter-Strike game. And so some days, you know, you can just have someone like Danico join the server as like one of these newer faces on the block, pop off, and that's not something you could have accounted for in the analysis, you know. So yeah, I think individuals are going to prove to be key for MIBR, and I think most importantly, I think someone I'm looking at is Yell to have a big start, because if you remember, he was the defining factor as to why they were able to beat FaZe in that best of 3 the other day, and he had an abysmal beginning to that series. I don't think you get the same kind of second chances versus Heroic, so it needs to be a strong beginning.
Really fast around here though. Already out the mid, it's been 20 seconds on the round and we're already in B. There's a lot of members there as well. Not a single member from Heroic actually coming through that B ramp area. Oh my god, I talked about it. You know, Cello needs to show up. That's a nice 3 kill from him right off the bat. Makes it a 2-on-2 situation now, though.
Julies from Danico. Danico, perhaps another X factor that can play into MIBR's favor. The new pickup. I mean, looking dangerous, but the Julies, I don't know if they can do it, man. Just running around, spamming the Julies is not going to really pan out for him in this instance.
He might go hot as well. Normally when you have situations like this, if it was a 4-on-4, the Nico position there at B, you tend to just be there to hold the rotations off, because you tend to know that teams tend to play a lot of A retake, which is very much what we see here from MIBR. The same thing there on the third man. If you don't come with, you obviously tend to just hold the flank instead. This is a good spot to be in here though if you're Heroic. We kind of know as well that MIBR doesn't have any utility left to try and retake this bomb site, so neither does Heroic, and normally for T's then we tend to be a little bit more aggressive, but still a very bad spot to be in here for your MIBR. Sure, you get the first one, but look at these positionings now. Maybe a little bit of a double bait here set up from the scaffolding area.
Yeah, playing it patient. Yell. Oh, that looked like it was on actually. And that's surely, yeah, indeed. Shiz is like, I don't want any part of this now. But you can see here like a delayed A ramp take here, and there's actually still 3 players on this ramp position for MIBR, and Heroic may have delayed this to try to peel away one of these players. MIBR
yeah, but instead it's going to be, it's going to be a stack instead. Very quiet all over the map.
Oh, well, not quite anymore. You don't have to worry about that, because Shuz has broken the silence, hasn't he? 3 kills from the short side, and this little partial buy from MIBR. Oh, it's been beautiful chaos over at the ramp side. Nico all alone. And that bomb even, you know, just being a little bit forward is kind of tenuous at best for him to go and get. He grabs it, still throwing all his utility in towards this A site. And he looks like he wants to commit, even knowing that this site is stacked. He's moving in, and there it is, right? Gets punished for it by Cello.
It's Danico's sandwich, but he might be able to make something of this. Jumping forward, caught by Katie in mid-air, but Yell's there as well to take down Borup, and it's a lot of trades back and forth there. And as the dust settles, we can see Storm has moved his way into that B site. He has forward position, now occupying the attention of MIBR, and the swing is going to work out on the trade for Bolts. Cadian by himself. What a crazy round so far. And it's over with MIBR just barely holding on.
Force some extra peaks. Then potentially down with the fallback. Yeah, we see it here now. They're pushing into ramp, so mid-round aggression, but Heroic is ready for it. Great positioning.
Burn them all down. It's going to make life quite difficult. Yell here. No stranger to some Heroics himself, but unfortunately may want to just try to keep this up into the next round at this point. Really don't know too much he can do here against 4 players. Get some kind of damage. It's got to be so careful there not to get caught off guard. Oh man, yeah, and we're kind of seeing that right now. That delayed take of a ramp creeping up. However, of course, MIBR with the presence of mind to hold on to most of their utility, although it wasn't amazing to begin with, I don't think. But either way, Storm with a very forward position, and MIBR not really too much choice but to perhaps wait out some of these smokes.
Another... They can still wait for these smokes. I was going to say, they can still wait for these smokes as well. The worrisome part for MIBR is that they don't have mollies. They do have smokes though, and flashes for the smoke wall. So normally you would like at least the 1 molly to smoke off the or the molly off the sandbags. But here comes the execute. Smokes were in. Trying to get in more of a position. Just a one flashbang. It's a bit of a sloppy retake, I'd say. And Heroic, they're very happy about that, knowing as well they didn't have a lot of nades on their bank either. Just the one flashbang left on Stavin. So had MIBR actually done a proper retake execute here.
We'll have to see, though, if they can somehow find some value here. And once again, we're going to see the B play coming through from Heroic. It's going to be a bit slower, just contacting it in. And again, it's just, it's so explosive. Although Boss might be in a position to do some damage. Lots of damage done, maybe not as much as he wanted, but 3 versus 2 in favor of MIBR. It is a better look than we've seen.
Oh, that's devastating.
Yeah.
Molly just ticking over, man. Just getting rid of Danico. There's the repeat, though, from what, SHZ, Shuz, either or. Here he is, Cadian, long rotate, running around. Tried to dodge the grate, but I think he just caught it at the end. However, no one's nearby to hear it for MIBR. So he's got the bomb site, he's got this bomb down. And either we're going to get to see a masterclass out of Cadian as to how these post plants in A are always tricky to rotate, right? Because this is a 1v2. This is one that MIBR should be feeling good about attempting. But you really can just play for time around this bomb on this A site. It can feel like a nightmare to deal with, especially when you look at MIBR. They've got no utility. They've got nothing to force engagements, to make Cadian get uncomfortable. It's going to have to be one player stick the bomb, the other get the kill. And when that doesn't happen, everything's coming up in favor of Cadian. Heroic onto 10, and the 1v2 locked in.
Just falling back, trying to get that info. The jump spots. Oh, 5 HP from Yell, and the distraction is so good for SHC, able to pick up 2. Storm gets the trade, but maybe there's been too much damage done at this point. The bomb's down on the ground. Nico's alone, facing the full force of MIBR, and he has so many angles to worry about. You can see him having to check between both the side alley and the site itself, and Danico will finish him off with the MP9. Looking pretty good actually at the moment here for MIBR on this site. You really want to see them have a way to get back into this one, make it competitive, and it's looking really competitive right now. Nico trying to get himself some love with the USP, although he will be denied. It's unrequited love. And Borup, I mean, these 3 remaining players are very low, but they are going to be able to play the bomb quite nicely here. Great stuff from Bolts, really abusing his position.
Yeah, one of the things you see a good deal here is, like, if you're setting up to play like a retake A round, these nades can be really, really versatile at just tipping the scales in your advantage by nading the bomb planters. So I wonder if that's what we're going to see here. Nade doesn't come through, it will a little bit late. Stound's already actually dealt with the man getting that bomb down. So the nades never matter so much as the kills that have come through on the back of these Deagles. Cadian is lining up this smoke to help his teammates out in the retake. That's going to get thrown over now as the push comes in. That falls onto the bomb just to give them a veil to work with. They tap it to try and bake these peaks out, but nothing's come through yet. MIBR have already realized that that was just the tap, and it's not the commitment, it's not the stick from Heroic. So with that read, they've probably won the round, right? Not really much you can do here if you're the Danes in this scenario, apart from try and save. Cadian and Nico knocking on the door, however, already here, posted up. Cadian holding this tight little angle, trying to catch them crossing, but they jump over the top. That's smart from Cello to dodge this AWP.
Yeah, without any nades as well, it was looking very dangerous for MIBR. But just from jumping over the angle, gives them a chance here at least. 1-on-2 situation. Cadian with a nice little angle hold though, while Nico is clearing.
This gets really awkward all of a sudden.
And I just love them from Heroic. We mentioned it on A as well, but just the fact that they're continuously, you know, don't mind them taking these aggressive spots. You would never, I think that Stavin would be so close. Exactly, right? Like, Cello has been there already, you know, Stavin's taking that green position. Gets another guy low, so he gets 2 kills, and SHZ is down to 16 HP. 2-on-2 situation now. Bomb's about to go down. There's 8 seconds left on the clock. Here's your window with the bomb going down. That's when I was talking about. You get the one on or 2-on-1 situation rather. But that's a bonkers shot from Yell onto Testis. Simon misses that first shot though, so gives Mibr a bit more room to take over mid.
Oh, Storm is so damn good. He knows everything that's happening right now, and he is not missing a beat.
Nice 3 kill from Storm.
Yeah, so confident with his angles. Had that advantageous right-eye peek on that one too. And those peaks are even stronger with the zoom of the orb. So, well, SAC able to get 1 kill in return. Feels like a very long road and a very unlikely one for them to make much more of this though. And indeed, Heroic. And this is huge too, because they got the double orbs, as you said, Robin, and they had to sacrifice a lot of utility to actually have the firepower going into this round, which, you know, that's something that for me makes it even more.
They're the kind of decisions that we just weren't getting out of Mibr in that first half. And sadly, it might leave them in a situation where you look back at this map and you go, well, if that first half wasn't so one-sided, maybe there was a chance. Like that from Danico to keep the pace high, to keep the pressure applied to Heroic. Cadian not crumbling under the pressure, instead being molded into a real gem, a real diamond here. Has put it into the 2v1. It's all onto Cello with his CZ. Nice little tiger print, but he's going to have to roar to life in this one. Orb down to his left that he could look to grab. Trying to deny the victory to Heroic. Pressure's on, but he's gone silent.
Oh, very unfortunate for Cello.
Team up that shares in your vision of having like another competitive Brazilian South American team. I really like the emphasis that we're seeing more and more on bringing new players into the fold, because I think you've seen in the past with regions like Poland as an example, where they kind of didn't foster talent. Sweden as another example, where, like, you know, you didn't really try and bring up too many new players, and so then it was like too little too late when you were looking for those changes, those new players to bring into the spotlight. It feels like a lot of regions now are trying to get ahead of that by focusing, especially during online play, at bringing new people into the mix. But let's take a look at the pistol, because this game's underway now. We've actually spoken all the way through to this second map. This is a first for us.
They have a massive following, so, you know, right off the bat, as soon as you join Mibr, you kind of tend to become a profile of sorts. And I think the problem that the Brazilian scene has had, obviously we've had 2 big teams, but I've always felt the Furia is the one team that kind of builds up the development pieces. So nice to see that we have both of these 2 teams doing the same. And we are getting the bomb down here now though. 4-on-3 situation. Bolts is low though. Someone with some nades. A tough spot to be in still though if you're Heroic. Oh, especially after that. That was a nice shot by SHC.
That's why you get the P250, Matt.
More and more, I mean, I'm super bullish on it. I mean, it's $300, right? And especially on like a pistol, if you're T and you're talking like the long distance duels, like the Glocks will do a really good job in ensuring the close quarters, but having like a P250 just for long distance duels of getting a kill or 2 helps a lot.
I'm a huge fan.
If gets one more, yeah. They all go down though, so at least it works out though nonetheless, and still have with 2 players alive, so a lot of money here. It's a nice little entry from Cadian though. It's going to be a fast round from Mibr, looking to get mid control fast at least. But with that instead, they don't clear the corner. It's a nice crossfire setup for Heroic here. Chaos ensues, but it's still a 3-on-2 situation with Yell being very low.
Oh, that's a gnarly little shot from Bolts, and that's delivered a 2-on-2, a very doable 2-on-2. Oh, I like this. Oh, I like that a lot. It's grimy, it's ratty, and that's what you need if you want to win this kind of round. This flank could do everything. Bolts, oh man, is he going to do it to them? They're not considering it at all. Oh, he misses the timing. Yell needs to stay alive. One's down in the pit with him. Uh-oh, he slipped the net. He's got it in, and Yell gets dropped, but there's so little time, and with the bomb planted where it is, it's not going to happen for Borup, is it? Bolts can just play around that bomb. Oh, the molly in the pit. It's like a Doja Molotov. Oh, that's so smart.
SHZ ready to strike here as the push comes in. He might get a great timing. See, Testis is worried about it. Actually repositions so that he can't get caught by this. Perfectly timed repositioning onto the site. However, difficult to hold these spots for too long. We'll have to see, though, because there's not too many numbers for the trade game. That is so important from Yell and SAC as well, taking down Tessus. They didn't even have to trade because nobody died. That's just so awesome from MIBR. No time here. The issue inside is forced, and Heroic know it. They've got a decent enough setup, but they are all the way far back here. So if the entries go MIBR's way, of course, there's really no time for the rotation to do too much, as the site will be lost immediately. But that's a great start there. Double from Nico, taking down both Yell and Cello. But however, Danica's crept onto the site. He's causing problems here, but nothing that Borup cannot handle with the help of his teammates. And that's going to be the first Danish round on the board.
Yeah, real slow on this approach through the apartments. And this has given a little bit of room for Heroic to kind of push and prod the banana. And that's now led to an early rotation around. So there's suddenly 4 players here in this A-bomb site. It's that much harder now to take if you are MIBR because of how slow this this creep into top mid has been. So these entries have got to come pretty cleanly, pretty flawlessly at that. They dodged the players in the site thanks to this smoke, but it is, however, hiding a lot of bad guys for MIBR. There it is. They deal with everyone. And honestly, considering they walk into a stacked bomb site there, the utility is great at separating those fights. Like, you know, if you're MIBR, it never felt like you were walking into a 4-man stack.
And 30 seconds now to play. A way slower pace for MIBR. We'll have to see if it's going to... Oh, they're going back to B now with the bomb with 20 seconds left. The rotation's coming, so they're going to go for a split through spawn. Oh my god, Tessus annihilates one half, and the other half is left to Storm, who does pretty much the same.
What a ballsy call from MIBR to make when there's so little time left. You're essentially just forced to just jump through arch there instead of having a smoke.
I think an important thing to pay attention to here is that Stown doesn't have any more utility to put a stop to this push. So he is really just at the mercy of MIBR and what they're able to get away with. They throw this double kind of smoke corridor to get them into the site. And now looking for Cadian. They can't quite deal with him. There it is. There it is. Takes them a moment, but they do deal with him. And now it's Nico and Borup on for this retake. It's a 2-on-3 and a little bit awkward because the money isn't entirely put together for Heroic. And the last thing they want is to feel restricted moving into this last round of the half. So they're going to go ahead and save. They write that one off.
30 seconds to get the bomb planted now, and Bolts is still trying to claim space on Banana. Borup is not buying it, though. He's actually going to peek for info. He sees that they're actually going to be committing A. He can find either a flank timing or, well, looks like that's what he's committing to. And in goes the committed push. They have no choice but to go on this. Cello will take down Tessus in the trade, but it's still looking pretty labored here. CT's in advantage. Loads more position, time. Look how patient Nico's playing. He can just rely on his teammates as well to help him out, and there's just too much here for MIBR to deal with, and that seals the deal for the end of the first half. Heroic,
based off of like level 10 basics and stuff like that, is definitely a lot of Finland. I had no idea that he had over almost 600 players level 10. But nonetheless, it's a 4-on-3. It's a pistol round on the way, so I'll shut up about facet levels and players here for a second.
Look at that wine plants on the way, and that's not looking good for MIBR. They are in a terrible spot, of course. Totally isolated from one another, Bolts and Yell. Tess is already looking to backstab one, and he's not the only one. For some reason, we've got Cadian walking around T-spawn. And I like that we're seeing this fast pace, that they're just going to go straight up mid. They still have the Mag 10s, makes a lot of sense. Looking for that arch play. Yell, great position, jumps up onto the chair. Traded, though. That's a very big kill to find. And they're pushing into spawn. Their pace is blinding right now.
Oh my god, and that flashbang as well. I can't believe Bolts gets Cadian completely flashed. It's all falling apart here now from Heroic. We have to remember, though, they had 3 SMGs, so it was a bit of a scrappy, fast round. Oh, that's a very sloppy smoke there. I think it was Cello that threw that. Essentially creating a very nicely smoked. That's actually a benefit for Tease. You're gonna walk in here. The first kill is done. Danica, though, through the smoke, gets the 2 kills. Leaves it in a 3-on-3 situation now, though. Not sure if they're gonna actually clear Bolts. They won't. We do see Stowen moving back, but now they've wasted the smoke, so nothing left now. So now we're just looking at some clean, crispy headshots. If they were to hit this, but yeah, like I said, that's the start. Yeah, Stowen with a headshot on the Cello. Bolts here though with the A bit of a sloppy spray, just gets the one. Without any utility, Heroic gets this bomb site. 4-on-3 now. And man, oh man. Very difficult spot to be in now if you're Mibr. I was just going to say, I mean, you might as well save, because the problem that they have as well is they also don't have a utility to block off the angles, to clear out the angles. And as we know, Cadian picked up the AWP from killing. Going to be taking this banana area. We know that Cello went down here earlier, so just having Yell here with the AWP. He still has a smoke and a Molotov, though. This is why you don't see the rotate coming in from Mibr yet. I was going to say he does feel comfortable enough of potentially, you know, being able to block that off. But just look at this. Heroic, nicely done. Full-blown execute. Not giving Yell a single opportunity to get away as well. It's burned to a crisp on the bomb site by 2 mollies. I think so, absolutely, right? Like, it's always an advantage here. You know, sure, Savan is low as well, but you just lose so much map control with being just 4 alive. So is the one area that's going to be left. We see that from Mibr as well, leaving the B bomb site. Well, we're just about to. Depending on timing here now, Danico's going to have a lot of work cut out for him. They know where he is too, so in terms of just staying alive and being sneaky, that's not going to be the case. But we do have the other remaining Mibr players here already, so 2-on-2 situation.
Ooh. Oh, that nade is so close. Bounce the wrong way though. Storm will go down anyway. Bolts in the 1v1. Doesn't know precisely where Cadian is, who does actually have to plant still. So Bolts didn't even necessarily have to go for it, but he knew that Cadian was on the side somewhere. Didn't want to allow him an inch to move.
Need this round, otherwise we're going to map number 3.
Yeah, and it's this post plant to end it. Cadian and Borup, the two to try and keep the dream alive for Heroic. Flash is going in, the Brazilians being fast on the approach, and they've already knocked one of them out. But oh, Borup, surprise 2K, there's the trade from Yell. And there's enough time for the defuse. He scares us a bit getting off of it, but there it is. Mibr, they lock in this map, and now they send us to a third. Man.
But I feel like that also means somehow that paradoxically that they won't. You know, like it's that classic thing. This I feel like I should change my prediction now, and then they'll get stomped or something. So
no, I was gonna say with that. You were allowed one time yesterday, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. It's a knife to the head. I
don't want to turn out like that guy.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's cool. Pretty extra, because there's like blood all behind him. You know, like the knife would either they shot the dude posthumously or knifed him after.
Maybe
all in all, little overkill. So look at this, right? Pistol round underway. Look at Heroic go, man. Like the red arrows soaring in through mid. It's the Danes up through short side. And now in towards this B bomb site. But oh, the USPs, quick response. They get a man into jungle, but he's now kind of trapped behind enemy lines. How much usage are they going to be able to get out of Borup in this position? Especially if he ends up being one of the last players alive, which seems to be the case now. Actually, it is just Nico left in the server. He was over towards short. And man, Heroic just got melted. They ran into that looking confident, like they had an idea, like they had a plan, and everything got uprooted. And I don't really like new cash, if I'm being honest. It feels like it emphasizes some of the things that, you know, oh, hang on a minute. I'll hold this thought, because we have a real skirmish in the apartments with these SMGs.
So
oh my God,
God,
they're running in with the enemy, man. Look at that, pack animals. They just charged them down.
It was a B stack here for Mibr 3 towards that area. Yell was there with an AWP trying to get a kill, but he's falling back now though. I love this. I was going to say, we do tend to see this a little bit. It's a connector split. But good positioning here though, coming in from Mibr. As I say that, it does get close. 1-on-2 situation now for Cadian. Picked up on flash, which is going to help him a little bit, at least to cross. Should be going down here though to bolts from the connector area. Oh no, he misses.
Oh no. They've given him a little bit of room. You don't want to give Cadian room. Oh, it's still close. And he gets the first. The immediate swing back in from Yell.
Cello as well. So much tension here. Players in smokes. Oh, Storm gets the kill. That pulls Cello away from connector. Oh my God, Storm is just such a beast. He's done so much for Heroic. In these,
yeah, but you can tell there
maps.
as well, right? in terms of positioning, that's great. And this is really how you win rounds from Mirage on some occasions of, you know, just someone landing a nice shot, you fork up the rotation a little bit. Cello goes down. Mibr had good positioning, but obviously with Yell going down the way he did, forced people to get a move on here instead. And this is Heroic getting the Bay bomb site. It's going to be for free now as well, with Bolts and Danico saving their weapons.
Kaden faking the plant there. He only has so much time to do that, obviously. Now, likely be forced to go for the plant. He won't have time to fake it again, and that's information Yell knows. We can creep forward. Kaden with the jump spot there. Doesn't realize how close Yell has become in his position, and he's going to manage to easily win the clutch.
Yeah, back here in CT, Danico over at the stairs gets double swung from sight. Now he at least knows where both players are, but that's only info for Yell. Now he's got to win fights with that info, and he spots one man behind the stack. There's the peek on his drop.
Little palace play here from Heroic. This might come back to haunt Mibr. This is the first time we see that. As I say, though, Cello, 2 nice kills there from him. 4-on-3 situation now, causing Heroic to kind of just stop for a second. Kaden can't go out by himself. He has the bomb by himself, waiting really for Tessus here to make a play.
Oh no, he shot. This is wild, man. They have Tessus trapped. There it is, right? Finally, they swing onto him. So it is just Kaden left in this 1v3. Bombs down at the very, very least. That gives him a little more stake in this one. He's got the AWP as well. All these players coming from mid and jungle. Flash is real good. Kaden's blinded from it, and this now leaves him staring into the wall, waiting for the push. Missed shot the first time around. Oh, through the smoke, he does claim the life of one. Bomb ticking away. Kaden still wasting time. This is expert use of the clock, but the nade out. Oh my word! And it looks like he's done it. Somehow, some way, Kaden wins that round. 5 on the board for Heroic, and Kaden nades in his hands.
There's some information at least there on the hands of Mibr, but didn't get as much as they wanted to. That's a nice shot. Cello as well shuts it. Where was that? Shuts it down somewhere. Looks to be in mid as well in the connector area.
I like this from Mibr because just as I had been describing, Heroic have been looking really confident, but to a certain extent they've been allowed to set themselves up to have their confident runs through to the bomb sites. But here we actually had a spot where Heroic had to pause in mid, and during that pause, Mibr, they're not saying let's play more passive, they're saying let's find opportunities to get aggressive and to challenge before Heroic get onto a site. With that said, as I'm talking about that, looks like Storm is on a confident run there, able to take a couple extra kills, which is nice.
And we've seen this again and again from Mibr, opting a little bit more towards the 3, towards B. That's a nice entry though for Kaden. Gets bolts, but then all of a sudden it gets flipped back into a 4-on-3 now. He has at least spots Danico, so they do have control of the truck, but that's about it. There's still 2 Mibr members here on this B bomb site ready to fight for it.
Oh, well, no, not for long, actually, as it turns out. There's now just one, and it's Cello with another one of these smoke hides, man. He loves doing this, does Cello. Now, will he get away with murder again? You know, making a murderer, this is it? No, okay, it's actually Kaden to snuff him out, no problem.
Different team, though. Heroic, very good at the moment. It's a fast B play here, though.
And there it is, Kaden doing what he can. A quick double is nice before they even get onto the site. Always what you want to see. Borup in the pillar position, trying to see if he can just delay, but he can't. The issue is forced. Tessus now forcing the issue himself. Out the window, out into the open arms.
It's a little bit awkward, isn't it? They've got players down through middle. They've got Yell up on Cat, and they are trying to get up in through connector. Okay, that's made life a lot easier now. Some pressure removed. There is still this under Palace player who currently was doing a pretty good job. Cello with the response. And it's music to our ears, but he's left in the 1v2. And Heroic with the ramp flank should have that locked in. Man, they snatch it away.
But they're both situated over at the B-bomb site. It's really only Tessus that's holding a very defensive angle here. Is CT spawn by Ticket. This should be an Mibr round, but never say never. There you go. Gets the read now as well, though, from Bolts. He gets the first, but yeah, here we go. Now it's just All up to Tessus. Not gonna happen. It's funny that we saw that run, and you mentioned as well, Harry. Heroic didn't have anyone towards B, and now that we think about all 3 maps, Mibr hasn't done a lot of fakes. They've been really going to kind of where they've been showing themselves. So with them doing that execute and showing themselves a little bit on towards A, that's why you saw all 5 Heroic members just leaving the B bombs right off the bat. It's not going to be a winnable round here for SHZ. He does get 1 kill though.
Be able to even like theorize any kind of solution here. Heroic have just come alive. They're setting each other up really well. The reads have been there. You know, you mentioned how MIBR haven't really been faking. They haven't really conditioned Heroic at all on this T side. And so it does feel like a real uphill battle right now. Cello, one man who maybe could make a difference, is already out of the round. And there's even more where that came from. That's brutal, man. It's already over before it's even begun at this B site. Cadian even wrapping in through lower just to seal the deal.
Cadian not expecting that. And that's a great way to start off the round. It may be Heroic doubling down, though, in their mid-efforts, because they still have presence here. Storm is still on the peak, has to fall back after the flash. Tess is close on the connector. He's going to swing for this one. Oh, we can't get the frag. That's huge. Although there is the nade follow-up from Storm from Cat to finish off the weakened SHC. Still the battle over mid here. And MIBR, they don't have to commit into mid at this point. They have a 4 versus 3. They could always reset out of mid if they wanted to, given how much time is on the clock.
Yeah, and that was a nice setup there. We talked about Yell with the AWP. He gets the first 2 kills here. No armor still. Glasscan hasn't lost an ounce of life yet, though. We'll see. It's very slow and steady. Bolts is still just holding this A push potential. But based on the fact that he's not moving, it is looking very likely that they're going to try and get their way into connector. But they have not spotted Borup. Just gets the 1, though. Still a 3-on-2 situation with really only Stouden here. And the timing, obviously.
I thought you would have seen him there, but oh, there we go. He goes back for it. And now pushing the smoke. Tess says, that's it, man. They get it done. Heroic take it over the line.
Hollywood person.